Anna McKenzie. You are here because you're nominated for Best Oceanian Actress, and you are the lead role in Love Forever. Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you so much.
We're so glad to have you here. How's your stay in Amsterdam?
It's been wonderful. It's been so nice. I got in a few days earlier to get over the massive amount of jet lag that we get from coming to Australia. It's so beautiful. I went for a cruise on the canals yesterday with my mum. It was wonderful.
Wow.
It's such a beautiful city. It's really wonderful to be
Oh,
here.
that's so nice to hear. Did you try the stroopwafels yet? Do you know them?
Yes. Oh my God. I want them every single day for the rest of my life. I'm really sad that they're not a thing in Australia.
Well, maybe you can bring them back, you know?
Honestly,
make them a thing.
I'll just bring like 5 different packets just in my suitcase.
I love your outfit today. It looks very gorgeous on you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Did you gather it from someplace specific, or how did you collect this out?
So it's from The Collective, an Australian brand, and my really close friend Sim actually loaned it to me. And usually with redheads, green is the way to go. It's really beautiful fabric that's completely wool, and it's like hand done, and it's all hand finished in Melbourne. It's amazing. It's really beautiful.
It looks gorgeous on you.
Thank you.
And well, we're here to talk about the movie, of course, a little bit. Could you tell us as an audience what the film is about?
So it's about a girl who is in her teens in Canberra, and she falls in love with this guy from the Northern Beaches, and then she eventually goes up to the Northern Beaches to see him and meet him, and it's kind of a coming of age and about first love and the heartbreak of first love, and how the a male lead, we're both very in love with each other in the film, but he doesn't know how to express himself, and so he ends up kind of breaking my heart, but actually showing vulnerability, and how vulnerability is the most important thing in love and in being with someone and communicating. And yeah, it's about coming out on top of that, even though in your vulnerability, in your sensitivity, and how that's really, really powerful and important.
Oh, wow. So how did you prepare for a role like that?
Well, I was in college, which is year 11 in Australia, and my director Claire Young auditioned all over Canberra, and I remember we did, in the audition, she behaved like my mum, and we did a little improv, and by the end I was like screaming at her, and I was really worried. The scene ended and I was like, I just screamed at a potential director really, really loudly. But they loved it, thank God. So yeah.
Screaming was the way to go.
It was the way to go, yeah.
Oh, wow. But that sounds really intense. Like, how was that for you?
Oh, super intense. I mean, like, that's kind of why I love acting, because it's super intense. And I've always been a really sensitive, emotional person. And it was always kind of a bad thing sometimes growing up, and people don't, you take things too to heart, you're too dramatic. But actually that's why I do this, and why I love it so much, because I am sensitive and I am emotional, and that's super okay and important in this world, actually.
It sounds like your superpower, especially in this world.
Yeah.
It's so amazing how openly you talk about your emotions and vulnerability. So thank you for that.
No, of course, thank you.
I was wondering, I noticed that there's a big difference between Canberra and the Northern Beaches, but I've never been to Australia, don't know about it. Could you tell like the audience who hasn't been there or knows the difference more about that?
So Canberra's our capital city, and the film is kind of set in the 90s, and so a way to explain is actually the fashion, I feel. Like I wore this like dark black lace and a choker, and like quite gothic, and but going up to the Northern Beaches, everyone was really tan and blonde and in their bikinis. And I remember a scene where I was sitting by myself, and everyone around me was tan and blonde and wearing bikinis and out in the beach. Basically, Northern Beaches is like surrounded by beach, heaps of surfers, heaps of like sun. And as you might realize, being a redhead, I can't go in the sun ever. I go bright red for like days afterwards. Yeah, so that's kind of the differences in like what comes from like where you grow up.
Yeah, so how did you, there were a couple of scenes on the beaches, right?
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
did you prepare your skin and yourself to
Oh,
do that?
so much sun cream. So much sun cream. And like mattifying sun cream. I remember there's this one scene in the pool and it was actually 15 degrees that day. It was so cold. And the cameraman was in a full like scuba suit. And so he was really warm.
Oh, he was comfortable.
Freezing. I like between takes, I would like run out and I would like get in a really hot shower in my entire clothes and just stay in the hot shower until they were ready to shoot again. And then I'd run back in and get in the pool and continue the scene.
Oh, wow, that sounds so intense. But that's amazing, the things you do for your art, right?
Yeah.
So, has Love Forever been received by the audiences so far? Have you heard any things and feedbacks going through the film festivals like this one in Amsterdam? How has the feedback been so far?
Yeah, the feedback's been really, really wonderful. Claire is such an incredible human and director, and I think that just bleeds through the film. Oh my God, how many times have I said the word sensitivity in this interview? But that's a big part of the film, and just like super open and just like when you kind of open up and when the director is open, it allows the audience members to be there with you, I think. And yeah, that can have a really powerful response for a lot of people.
It sounds like the director had a big part in creating the vulnerability and the safe space for you to work in.
She's incredible. Yeah, I've always said actors are only as good as their directors.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big compliment there, right? That's so nice. And I was wondering, how was it being vulnerable with your co-star or male co-worker? I hope I'm making myself clear.
No,
it sounds like you're getting it. Thankfully, you understand.
No, totally. Yeah, I mean, he was really nice. We actually met and I spent a week in the Northern Beaches before we filmed and we got to know each other, spent some time together. He was really lovely, but it's all about the safe place on set. We had like quite intimate scenes, you know, because we were in love in the film, and the producers and the director were all women. And so usually when I'm on set and there's, 10 different men standing around me while I'm doing a sex scene, which can be really sometimes like a little bit intense and scary.
I can only imagine.
But I remember she got everyone to leave apart from the people that we needed there, and created this space where we felt really, really safe. We're kind of instantly covered up. There was like a lot of stuff about consent, and there were constant chats and constant talks about like what I was comfortable with. But it's all about the director creating a safe enough space and I was underage when I did this. And so it was really important to have someone who was there with me, who I trusted completely. Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 17.
And how old are you now?
I am 24.
24.
Yeah.
But wow, that is young, right?
Yeah.
Looking back on it now as a 24-year-old woman, how was that?
I was really lucky. I was really, really lucky that was my first experience in film, being surrounded by these amazing, powerful women who created such a safe space on set and such an incredible story. It's nice kind of looking back on her, like little me, and kind of knowing that she was like struggling as we all do when we're a teenager, and just like holding her, having like a hard copy of a really intense place in my life is really special.
It sounds very special. And a last question. I was wondering, when audiences see this film and watch it, what would you like them to receive as a message? What do you hope they take home?
Being open, being sensitive, being caring, compassionate, and having empathy for everyone in this world. And this world is really hard sometimes, and it's been really hard in the last few years. But when we come from a place of compassion for other humans and love and care, we need light in this world. We need people who hope and people who believe that things are going to get better. Because when we dissolve into grief and hopelessness, nothing gets done. And we just dissolve into that. We need hope. we need belief in this world. And coming from a place of that is, to me, one of the most important things that we can do.
Thank you so much, Hannah, and good luck. And congratulations again on your nomination. It's been wonderful talking to you.
You too. Thank you.